Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we are going to be playing some Trophy Hunter. And yeah, we start off with a baby dragon here with an okay shop. We kind of cut the timer short there. That's why I cut out the kind of waiting time in the beginning there. We get our second shop with a Cindy plus a Forbidden Fruit, which is fantastic. Means we're going to be able to pick up this Mim as well. And of course, Mim is a great Trophy Hunter unit. So picking up a Mim early is very, very nice. Also, we're going to be able to win this combat thanks to our extra unit. Then we get this shop, which is honestly like pretty powerful. I think we're actually going to be locking this shop going into 3 because we have the free roll. I mean, we can buy the 5/5 for 2, take the free roll, and still buy a 3. And yeah, I think that's going to be very good here. And we managed to take out Mrs. Claus here with thanks to our range in the back. All right, we're gonna pick up Lonely Prince here, or Frog Prince. We're gonna take the free roll. I could take the Princess Peep. It does have Slay, and I mean it's kind of fits the theme. Like we've got some mostly goods right now, so there's an argument for that. But we're just gonna take the free roll and see if we find a better 3. Unfortunately, we do not. We just find another Princess Peep, so we're taking that. And before the turn ended, I did lock that experience, and we are going to take it next turn. We have a full board. We've got a decent amount of stats, so I think we can afford to. And also, we get a Slay at the end there, filling up our board, dealing some extra damage to Share Bear there. And also, that extra gold allows us to get basically a roll here after we buy our experience and our 2 pair. Stag Attack does come through here, which is a little bit potentially concerning, depending on where the mummy goes. Unfortunately for us, the mummy doesn't hit anything critical, and yeah, we end up with the win there. So no punishment for taking experience. And now we're on 4, a turn early. And then we're faced with a shop of 3s with a Masquerade Ball. We could just see 3 4s. Like, we want to buy a 4 this turn anyways, so I think that's what we're going to do. That also finishes our Cindy quest, so we're going to get a level 2 treasure. I consider Dancing Sword just because, like, 1 extra stat on, like, this monster book that we're going to buy could be okay, but it's so low impact. I think we're going to end up just going with the Secret Stash. Just in case we run into someone that's gonna be able to take us down. That's just going to give us a nice little infusion of gold, as well as buffer our health a little bit. Even though we're still basically at max health, we haven't really lost a combat, but fortunately for us, we did take the Secret Stash, because we're going to use it right now. That is a Wonder Waddle who has 2 golden familiars plus a regular familiar, so they are very powerful here. We're going to take 2 golden characters worth of damage, taking 10, but again, fortunately buffered by the Secret Stash, and now we've got some extra gold to work with this turn. We got our second monster book, and with another triple in this shop, this skipping stone is honestly looking pretty good, but I think we're just going to go with the daggers. The daggers is so good here just because, like, we get the slays with the monster books more consistently, and also we have this Princess Peep. And if the Princess Peep slays and fills up our board with tokens that have 2 extra power, then that's definitely great as well. Unfortunately, this next shop is not exactly as exciting as next treasure selection, so we do go with the skip, but just hoping to find another 4-drop that we could buy. I was gonna buy the Lady of the Lake, but then there's the free roll, so I decided to just take that. And yeah, we find a Spellweaver there, which is going to go with our monster books really well. So we're fine with taking that instead. So the I kind of like fired off the roll preemptively, and then decided I didn't want it. So just a little bit impulsive there. And unfortunately for us, we're going to win this fight and keep our daggers here. There's another experience spell, which is like potentially worth it. We're pretty strong, but we're against top board, and I mean, Trophy Hunter doesn't necessarily need to accelerate experience. Like, it is an avenue you can take, but again, you don't necessarily need to do it. Also, there's a Chupacabra, which is a decent scaling for Trophy Hunter. But I mean, like, positioning gets kind of weird because it competes for the first attack spot with the monster books. I did consider putting it in 5 here, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna go for it. We're just gonna cast this Masquerade Ball and see a couple 5s, and we do find a Southern Siren, which we are gonna take. It's just gonna adds a decent amount of tempo to the board. Of course, like Chupacabra is arguably better just because, you know, we get that scaling, but I mean, of course, Southern Siren with the daggers is going to help us keep the daggers longer anyhow. Another experience spell is offered to us here, but again, we're just going to pass it by because we want to find Baba Yagas. And look at that, we find a Baba Yaga. We would really like to find a way to scale our monster books. Like, we're seeing so many experience spells. It's a little ridiculous. And yeah, we're gonna sell down for this friendly spirit though. It is still like we're still up 1 experience, so like it's only 4.2. So this friendly spirit is still reasonable. Unfortunately, we don't get any of the slays in front of our Baba here, but we do get the friendly spirit slay, which puts some stats onto our backline here. And yeah, we have good enough breakpoints to win the range battle and keep our daggers once more. Again, we would love a way to scale these monsters. We're gonna take a Siren pair here. I mean, Siren pair is just gonna be very, very good for us. Because if we can triple it, it can be Evil Eye or Horn. And speaking of tripling it, there it is. We are definitely going to take that. We're just going to cast this spell. We have nothing that dies to Falling Stars, so I think it's worth it. And then we cycle a couple characters out of the shop just to bank 1 gold and see some new characters in those spots next turn. And looks like Mrs. Claus has assembled a decent good board here. Their core wizards are 10 power each, and yeah, the attacks go pretty well for them. I mean, yeah, they get all their bonus attacks, and unfortunately we do lose our daggers here. But we get this triple, which should kind of make up for the power we just lost. Taking Horn of Olympus, of course, because I mean, every Baba Yaga we put on the back line is going to make our front line that much more explosive if it can slay. And now we're going to move our Southern Siren up to the front. Hope that kind of can fill up our front if attacks go right here. We do get to triple our monster book here, so that's going to make it bigger and more likely to slay, as well as more potent when it does slay. So that's excellent. Forking Rod and Moonsong Horn are both pretty interesting here, but I think we're just going to go with the deck. We are starting to approach level 6, where Forking Rod does drop off a little bit, and Deck of Many Things can provide us tempo spells that we would be very interested in. And just like at free value as well, or like a Blessing of Athena like that. That's also very nice. It just makes our board nice and big. We do get our Monster Book Slay, which is fantastic because this Waddle is very strong. We did hit the Shrivel onto the Good Boy, which is very, very good for us, as it stops all those stats going to those Wizards familiars. And then we get the Slay with the Southern Siren, supported by Baba, which fills our entire front line up with golden familiars there, and does a big chunk of damage to Waddle. All right, so at this point we just want to find more Babas. I think we want to find Scions. We want and Oni Tyrants, and we just want to figure out exactly what our final Trophy Hunter board is going to look like here. I don't think we're going to be going into Good Boy. We're just going to cast Feed the Kraken for a couple extra rolls here. And there's a Scion. Okay, that's a good start. So we're going to sell our Mummy here and pick up the Scion. And then we're actually going to lock this shop. Because it has the TLK as well as another Spellweaver. Although like the second Spellweaver might be a little bit too late. We get our Slay with our Monster Book, which is fantastic. That scales our Scion a decent amount as well. I mean, if we keep getting the Monster Book Slays, like the Spellweavers can grow very, very quickly, so definitely not the worst thing to pick up. Also, there's level 3 treasures we would still want, like Treasure Map, Bad Moon potentially. Yeah, so we're gonna take that. We're gonna cast the TLK onto the Siren. Like, Siren has been very, very good for us, but it is gonna fall off eventually. So seeing a golden 6 I think is more worth it. And we get this golden Green Knight, which adds just a ton of stats to our front line. Alright, and there's another Scion of the Storm, and there's also an Empress P. I don't think we're going to take the Empress P, even though it's really good with the Horn. I think that's just not the direction that we necessarily want to go, but like maybe it's not correct to not take that, but yeah, I don't think we do here. And yeah, we win this combat by exactly 1 toughness, which is wild, thanks to some friendly spirit buffs. Yeah, we just decided to roll on the on the Empress P and try and find another Scion really. But this Boomhilda does catch my eye. We're gonna sell out of this Spellweaver that we just bought, just because I think it's the best thing to sell on this board, and that's gonna help us continue to get Monster Book Slays. Putting 32 power onto it, I think makes a pretty big difference. Maybe not on this board, but in general, hopefully. We get a Pigomorph out of our spells here, and a bunch of things that go directly onto slot 3 there. Unfortunately, the Pigomorph went on the one thing that isn't good on their board, so everything else still got those good boy stats. So that's a pretty big backline. And fortunately for us, those Scions tank all those attacks, and we get around to another Monster Book Slay, which does enough scam for us to walk away with the win, just barely. There's an Aeon, which was a brief consideration, but probably not. Also, there's Pumpkin. Pumpkin looks like it might fit on this board, but it wouldn't be able to play on the back line. We're gonna go with Hermes Magic Beans. Kind of immediately regret because there's the Fiercify to give our book +10/+10 or +10 attack, which is huge. And we triple our Scion, and we get exactly what we're looking for. That's a 9th Book of Merlin, which we are gonna snap up immediately. So that means our Baba, our Boomhilda, and our Scion all have Last Breath, the Monster Book ability where they cast a spell. So we got Scion in 2 because it's more likely to be able to survive a hit, and then also be able to still get an attack off. So we can hope to get the initial attack with the book, and hopefully get that slay, which will increase the size of our Scion, and then Scion creates or slays and gets a bunch more spells. And yeah, we're right after that combat, we're immediately rewarded with a shop with a pair of Babas, allowing us to triple and find Evil Eye. So yeah, things are just like really falling into place right now. And even after that first good boy attack, we still managed to be able to slay with our monster book here, which is again fantastic for us. And you can see these spells going wild. This Fates player is definitely not weak. Look at the size of their backline, and they get their second good boy stats there. And unfortunately for them, off of this Scion slay, we do get the double Pigomorph, and then we win the combat and subsequently the lobby. So again, yeah, this was kind of a wild one. It looked like we didn't have like a great direction towards the end there, but tripling that Scion and finding 9th book was of course incredible. I mean, I feel like this is like my favorite way to play Trophy Hunter. I mean, I just like casting spells, of course. I like getting all the book spells, and then getting a big Scion that scales itself is it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that helps the algorithm. I would very much appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.